I came up specially with this phrase for AI. Every time you hear the word, the letters, whatever they are, AI from now on, instead of going, oh, and having a glitch in your stomach, I want you to remember it stands for awareness. What do you think this word is? I-D-E. Inside. Very good, very good. It stands for awareness inside. And that's really what joy's all about and what we're going to be talking about today. And if any of you are sitting here thinking, how can I get out of here now? This sounds like it's going to be an uncomfortable session. It's not, because we're all humans. And we forget that we're all humans in the corporate world today, because the corporate world is so very, very professional, and it has to be. But, you know, there are times, because we're not dealing with robots, we're not dealing with AI people, we're dealing with humans. So, on the count of three, try to be engaging with this. Do not look at the person next to you when I count to three and go, no. Do not do that. You might as well just turn to the person and look at them and go and suck their energy dry. Have you not ever met an energy sucker? Somebody who goes through life, oh, there's some energy, and they leave this trail of hulks behind them. And if you're sitting there thinking, no, I've never met one, maybe look in the mirror and ask a person next to you if they know you. Anyway, so do not be an energy sucker, will you? Just throw yourselves into this. Nobody else is ever thinking about you, honestly. People suffer dreadfully from a disease called FOWOT. Do you know what FOWOT is? Fear of FOWOT. Fear of what others think. And honestly, I hate to burst your bubble, but no one else is ever thinking about you, ever. Ever. Seriously, ever, because they are so obsessed with what you are thinking about them, they don't have time to think about you. Do you get this? If you could teach this to your teenagers, life would be very different for most people. So the more joyful you are, the more awareness you have inside. I've been helping you. If you're aware of inside, you go, oh, no, she's not going to make us do that. Realise that that's just the fear part of you that's going to destroy your life, basically, because choose joy. We're going to come more back into this. It's kind of a quick summary. Choose joy. Turn to the person next to you. Joyfully answer the question that I'm going to give you in a second. And then turn to the other person. That's called connecting. That's what died during COVID. That's why people desperately need to come back to work. And for those of you sitting going, oh, I don't want to go back to work, I like working from home, you need to get back faster. Seriously. Humans desperately need other humans. That happens at a quantum field level. I'm going to give you some science in a minute and some statistics, which I pulled together especially for you. But I want you to understand this is a great stretch and a really important step for you and your joy and how you're feeling yourself. So, on the count, and any of you, by the way, who's sitting there going, well, you don't know how I'm feeling. And I don't know either. Room for growth. Took me 60 years to learn how to feel. I didn't even realise I wasn't feeling. And we may or may not have time for that later on. But anyway, on the count of three, we're getting there. I want you to turn to the person on one side, and you don't even have to introduce yourself. You don't have to say I love you or anything like that. Just turn to the person next to you, and I want you to tell them the name of the best boss you ever had. And once you tell them that, of course, some of us, I see, are sitting next to our boss, are we? In which case, it's perfectly obvious that this is the best boss you've ever had. For obvious reasons. And if you're not sitting next to your boss, then be honest and say who is the best boss you've ever had. And then I want you to turn to the person on the other side and tell them the same thing, the same person, okay? So ready? Now, you don't have to have a huge discussion about it, just the name of the boss. And, wait, one more thing. Just tell them, but you've got to do it really fast, because honestly, I don't have much time. You can't laugh or clap or any of those things. You can laugh a bit, but not much. And just tell them why, in one word, if you can do it. But if you can't, just give them the name, then turn to the other person. Ready? 1, limber up, look happy, start turning to the person. 2, 3, go. Go. Best boss you've ever had. One side, then the other. And if we can keep the lights up, that'd be great. Okay, swap to the other person. Swap to the other person. 45 minutes. How did I end up with 45 minutes now? Quick, come back, come back. Come on back, come on back, come on back. Quick, 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 quick. Come back, come back. Did you cut my time? Come on back, come on back. Maybe make me a bit louder, Jess. Come on back, come on back, come on back. Nice work, team. Quick, come on. Stop talking and come back. Seriously, we don't have a lot of time. Now, I hardly ever use notes, but especially for you, I'm using notes. So because I got some statistics. So I don't often do statistics, but especially for you guys as well, I came up with a new term. It's called joy-onomics. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I thought it was good. Anyway, with joy-onomics, we're going to be talking about the stats. Now, the reason I asked you about the best boss you've ever had is because I would normally ask you, but we haven't got time. I would guarantee you did not say, oh, yes, Shirley was my best boss ever because she was a gun at KPIs. Oh, yeah, she was brilliant. You know, she nailed us to the wall if we didn't do something. Or Frank was awesome because he never said anything to us. Nobody ever said that. The people that were your best bosses are the ones who actually you felt cared for. Yes? There was some emotional connection. You either felt cared for by them, you felt that they were interested in your growth and development, excuse me, they took time to get to know you. Because when you're a boss, and that's most of the people in this room, who are you the boss of? I'll give you a hint. You guys haven't been too good of a hangman, so I'm going to give you opportunities. You're the boss of humans. We are dealing, not in the business of B2B and B2C and B to whatever else it is. You're in the business of H to H, human to human, and heart to heart. And there is a whole organisation called the Institute of Heart Math, and I will blend with this with science in a second. But do you know the heart has an operating system of its own? It's got nearly as many neurons as your brain. Humans operate with the operating system of the heart when they're in balance and they're healthy. They operate with the operating system of the head when they're stressed off their brains. Seriously, the heart is really important. The whole human body is a giant bioelectric current. And do you remember from school, the electric current, every electric current generated a what around it? A magnetic field. Do you know that the heart beats an electric current 60 times more powerful than any other organ in your body? And it generates a magnetic field that goes how far out do you think from your body? Think how much they separated us during COVID. 6 feet. There is a 6 feet sphere around your body that holds your heart frequency. And if you're sitting next to somebody who's got an angry, hostile heart, I give you permission to move. That is the only circumstance under which you can move. So if they seem angry, bitter and twisted, just gently move your chair away to the next over 6 feet away, all of you. And that will help them understand that they're generating a field of anger and hostility. Because not only is angry, hostile heart the number one predictor of heart attack, it's not stress, cholesterol, obesity, smoking, lack of exercise, although they are not good things to overindulge in. But the actual number one predictor is an angry, hostile heart. And if you're in the field of someone who has an angry, hostile heart, it actually interferes with your brain waves. We're talking hot science here. This is not just, woo, she was airy-fairy, oh, love, everything's love. No, it's actual hardcore science. So it really matters what's going on in your heart and what you're feeling. And if you dislike anybody in your team, they know. You can't hide it. So you have to go find something good about everyone you meet if you're leading them. You don't have to do it for everybody, but if you're leading someone, there has to be good stuff about them that you focus on. And yes, we have to help them grow, develop, and change things that are negative, but how you connect heart to heart is critical. And as you go out for the rest of these 2 days, make sure you connect heart to heart. We always say network, and we mean network, but really the true networking is connect heart to heart. Yes, talk business. Yes, talk how you do things, share ideas and stuff, but connect heart to heart. It matters. And then joyonomics. I don't normally use notes, but because I did this especially for you guys, I have to use my notes. Did you know that joy increases productivity 31%? It increases sales, I've got time that says sales, 37%. It increases creativity 300%. I don't know how they get 300, but it's 300. It's Harvard. And by the way, these figures are all from McKinsey, Harvard, Oxford, and Forbes. It's not, I didn't pull them out of my hat. It increases, you're going to love this, profitability between 20 to 28%. That'd be good for a company. And customer satisfaction by 31%. But wait, there's more. See, why consider joy? This is the reason. And the second reason, there's more, but the second big reason is how many people are turning employees away at the door or turning prospective employees away? I don't know one company since COVID and we started doing conferences again, not one group has said, wow, we don't know what to do with all the people applying for jobs at our place. Everybody's talking about how difficult it is to find good people. It's like they vaporized during COVID. I don't know what happened to them, they've disappeared. So joy makes a big difference. And by the way, if you advertise kindness as one of your values when you're advertising for jobs, one of the company values, more people will apply for jobs. So nothing of the stuff that we've been thinking about, but stuff that we inherently know in our hearts is true because we're dealing with humans. And COVID just kind of changed everything. I've been talking about this forever because how much have humans changed in the last, 3,000 years? Not. We haven't. We still operate on feelings. And if you think about it again, all the reasons you named the boss, the best boss, was feelings, emotional. People are 20% rational and 80% emotional. So, which is feelings, there's a difference, but I haven't got time to go into it. You get the gist of it, though. Now, there's more. Joyful workplaces decrease burnout 150%. They decrease turnover 54%. And there's more. Quality defects 41%, accidents by 50%. And there's a few more figures, but that's enough to get you going as to why joy, why even take the time to think about it. And the other reason that I love is, what does joy actually stand for? It stands for just one you. You are unique, astonishing, amazing, and every single human truly is an astonishing being of light. How many of you have either had a baby, seen a baby, or had anything to do with a baby? Okay, good. So you know when a baby's born, and aren't they just little balls of joy when they're not crying? Okay, get them past the baby bit, right, where you've got to feed them and they cry and sleep. Once they're past that, what about when you walk in the door at night and they see you come in? Excuse me. Isn't that the most amazing feeling on earth? When they start to run towards you, Mom, Dad, Manda, whoever it is. Your heart nearly explodes with joy. They are truly little balls of light. They are giant beings of light. And so are you. That's what you were like. You were all like that once. And then life happened. Between 0 to 7, it happens. And we know that from epigenetics. So what I'm going to be covering is a whole lot of sciences, very fast. We're going to be talking about neuroscience, epigenetics, emotional intelligence, and quantum physics. I've been studying quantum physics since I was like 17, and right at the beginning, and it affects all of us. Culturally, when we talk culture, we're actually talking about the field that is created by the people in the room. So before I come back to that, there are just 3 core tenets that tie in, that kind of loop all of these together with the best boss you've ever had and what we're about to do in a moment. And the first is, I wish I could credit who first said it, but I can't find out who it was. People don't care how much you know until they know how much. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Did I say that right? Yeah, I did. So people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Think best boss. The second one comes from Carl Buchner, who said people will forget what you say, they will forget what you do, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I modified that a bit because you can't really make anybody feel anything. But so people will forget what you say, they'll forget what you do, but they'll never forget how they felt when they were around you. So your best boss helped you have more confidence, helped you believe in yourself. And then the third core tenet, where is it? I wrote them down. These are all especially for you. People leave what? Not jobs. Bosses. People leave bosses, not jobs. And the latest research shows, I think it was 75% of people say the boss is the most stressful part of their job. That'd be you. So there's a whole lot of reasons for everybody to listen in and find out how to become something that I'm going to talk about here. So this sweet spot is where great leadership, great business, all that sort of stuff happens in the midst of all these sciences. And I call this the joy spot. Not that one. You know, either rooms go dead quiet when I say that, or they snicker. But I always know what they're thinking. So it's not that one. However, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go forth and become a walking joy spot. Remember, you're an astonishing being of light. And if you start to change your thinking, that will change the frequency in your heart, and that will change the non-verbal messages that other people get. And some of you, if you're not taking notes, but you're looking at your phones, stop, because you're using technology of the head versus technology of the heart. And it's confronting for some people, because some people, we've never done this. We shut ourselves down between 0 to 7. We know from epigenetics that the core fears embedded in people are embedded by the time they're 7. And they're embedded by us as the children. They're really not embedded by anybody else. And I'm going to come back to these, because these are the core drivers that drive almost everyone, including you guys. We don't know it. Most of us are completely unconscious of the core fears that are driving us, and the joy killers, if you like. And so if we go back to the joy spot, the person that you looked at on either side before is from this day forwards, now get ready to give them a hug, okay, is your official joy buddy. Awesome. Don't hug them just yet. I'll show you in a second. Now, you've all heard of the bell curve. So here is the bell curve. You all know that bell curve. Be really honest. We're not going to do a technical poll at this time, but we're going to do an emotional poll. And be honest with yourself. Where are you going to fit in here as I give the descriptors for them? Because all of you will fit somewhere into this bell curve. So be honest with yourself. Up this end, you know, this is what we call the successful people. These are the people with the growth mindset. These are the people who are joyful most of the time. Nobody bounces around full of joy 100% of the time. But, you know, you can choose joy in every moment if you so decide. It's making a decision. And I just got to do this because there was so much I put in for you. These are the people who actually do a lot of self-care. Now, I didn't mention self-care much, but if you're going to be someone who can care for others and be the best boss anyone has ever had, you must take good care of yourself. Because if you're absolutely exhausted, you don't have energy to give other people. And you certainly want energy for people at home. Because if you don't have energy for people at home, nothing matters. So taking good care of yourselves puts you up in this category. So not only do we have to demonstrate and have other people feel cared for in our presence, but we must take good care of ourselves. And do you know what that involves? I could stand here and spend the rest of my short time with you explaining what you can do, but you know you need to exercise more maybe, or exercise less, some of you in this room, and meditate and sleep better and eat better and have more time with your family and have more chill time and have more time where you're doing nothing and resting. But who doesn't do it? So today is the day I give you permission, give yourselves permission to start take better care of yourselves, because it will make you much better at your jobs and much happier in life and a much better partner in life for whoever you're in partnership with. Here are people who are authentic. And they're just like good people. These people fully live. They're up here and they're living. And it doesn't mean every moment's fabulous, but they're fully living. And in the middle, this is the biggest group. These are the people who are average. I'm pretty sure there's no one in this room that wakes up in the morning and goes, I just want to be average today. Yeah, that's my goal, average. No one does that. And yet, look, the vast bulk of the population is in the average category. These are the people who are resigned. They're obliged. That says obliged, I haven't got time. And you don't want to be in that category, but most of the people are. Then there's the people down this end. These are the people with the fixed mindset. These are the ones who say, nothing changes, everything is bad. These are the people who are full of fear. They blame, they judge, they make excuses. It says excuses. These people down here, basically, they suck. Now, be honest with yourself. Where are you fitting in? I'll give you a hint. This will help you. You know when I said you're going to turn to the person next, the person on either side of you is your official joy buddy? These people, they're going, awesome! I've always wanted a joy buddy. What a great idea. Oh, that's fabulous. These people, oh yeah? Huh. These people, no. Just no. Or, I knew I should have sat somewhere else. Now, if you have a person like this at work, by the way, if you have an energy sucker, it is really important you either manage that energy sucker out of being a sucker, or you help them move to another job where they might be happy. Because haven't you ever worked with an energy sucker in an organisation? It's awful. And if you as a leader don't deal with it, everybody else gets sucked out. One energy sucker in this room will suck the group energy down. And what's it like when the energy sucker leaves? It's like the sun comes out. All of a sudden, people are happy, they're joyful, they're wandering around. It's productive. People are getting things done. So it's really important. And for those of you who are in the suck category, who'll be sitting there right now thinking, she's a bitch. No. And the truth is, you don't suck. You're just stuck. And the T is really important, because your T stands for that. What's the difference that makes the difference between these three categories? It's your T, I-N-G. What do you think it is? Your thinking. Yes, you're getting better at this. It's your thinking. And we know from epigenetics that 90-something to 90-something% of the time, we are literally unconscious of what we're thinking. Literally. So I'll help you. 95 to 99% of the time. 95 to 99% of the time, we're unconscious of how we're thinking. So here's an opportunity for you to see how you're thinking. So on the count of 3, you are going to turn to your joy buddy on one side and then the other side. When you turn to them this time, you are going to say, I am a walking joy spot. Wait till I count to 3, wait till I count to 3. Now, again, the people up this end are going, oh, this is going to be fun. These people are going, really? We have to do this? And these people are going, I'm going to look like I'm doing it, but I'm not. Do not do that to yourself, because if you do that to yourself, whose spirit do you really pull down? Be a spirit igniter, not a spirit foofer. You know, you've got a pilot light in your heart. Everybody has a pilot light in their hearts. And there are some people, honestly, who walk around going, They poof out lights everywhere they go. So your mission is to be a spirit igniter. I think I'll add something else to it. Wait. This just came to me. So I have a new type thing. What do you call that thingy you write under your name on a business card? Position, that'll do. So I have a new position for you. You know, like a lot of people in this room have got C something something on their business cards. You can add a new C something something as of this session today. Not only do you get C credit things, CPE credity things, but you get this. You can start writing CJF. Is that awesome? People will look at it and they'll go, what's a CJF? And you can say, Chief Joy Facilitator. See, look, these people are going, awesome. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that done by the time I get back to the office. These people, she's funny. These people. How can I get out of here without her seeing me? You can't. And you'll be infected by this field. Buckminster Fuller, a great philosopher, said the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Everything I'm saying relates not only to you, but to how you lead and your team. When you put a group of people together like this, the energy that is created quantum-wise is greater than the sum of all the individual energies in the room. And a leader's job is threefold. The first part of a leader's job is to change people's behaviour. And these people know it's possible. You can do it with the strategies they use. And by the way, developing a growth mindset, you do it by praising effort. You don't praise strength, talents, abilities, skills, or knowledge. And remember that for your children. Do not just praise strength, talents, abilities, intelligence with kids. Praise the effort they put into things, and that will develop a growth mindset. And people who are at this end have no problem helping people change their behaviours. These people go, it's not really possible. Old dog, new tricks. Can't teach leopard new spot. Change their spots. Yeah, you can. You can change people's behaviour in a heartbeat if you tell them a story that touches their hearts. Heartbeat, they change. The second part of a leader's job is to help people believe in themselves, because belief in your own ability is a better predictor of success than any level of skill. And we know in epigenetics, it's not your genes that determine your future. It is not your genes that determine your future. It is your... I hope this is a... no, that's permanent. Don't let me touch that one. Make sure I got a white pen. What was I saying? I got distracted by the pen. I know. It's not your genes that determine your future. It is your BFS. What is it? Your beliefs. Hardly anybody talks about this. Your beliefs about yourself and about other people determine everything. The latest research on stress says that it is not stress that makes people sick. Guess what it is about stress that makes people sick? It's what you believe about stress. It's not the stress. If you're freezing to death and you're in the Antarctic without a coat, then it's going to be the stress of the physical environment. But 99.99% of the stress we deal with every day is what we believe about the stress. It's what we believe about the boss. It's what we believe about our jobs and ourselves that determines how well we are. So how people believe in themselves is critical. And the third part of a leader's job is to create an environment in which people can be the best they can be, which is joy-filled and fear-free. That's why you want to be a CJF, a Chief Joy Facilitator. So, Joy Buddies, here we go. This is your time. On the count of 3, you're going to turn one side and say, I am a walking joy spot and a CJF. And then the other side, I am a walking joy spot and a CJF. And mean it. Don't just look at him and go, I'm a joy. Yeah, no. Joy spot. No, mean it. Because if you want to do something different, if you want to walk away with a tangible skill from this event, then the way you think about yourself, and I'll help you with the joy killers in a minute, it makes a difference. So ready? Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2. You remember what you're going to say? I'm a walking joy spot. I'm a CJF. 3, go. I am a walking joy spot. I am a CJF. I am a walking joy spot. I am a CJF. And now high five each other. High five each other. High five. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Awesome. Quick, come back. Good job. See, down this end, that wasn't so hard, was it? You didn't bleed or anything. And you're making stronger connections. So as you go throughout the rest of today, make sure that you walk up to people and go, hi, you need another joy buddy? Oh, by the way, joy buddies, so come back. You know, at your level, for most of the people in this room, it becomes more difficult to talk to people about what's going on at work. The family's not that really, they're not that interested. You know that. You can talk about it for a while, but then they get over it. And it's hard to find mentors at senior levels, really. So your joy buddy is actually an accountability buddy and a resilience buddy. And I try to present, I try to make it funny because I'm here for a long time and you'll all be in a coma if it's not. But a joy buddy is actually a really valuable addition to your life. Because if you exchange phone numbers and you commit to talking to each other once a month, just for 20 minutes, once a month, you have a joy meeting and you talk to either a random stranger that you're going to get to know really well or somebody that you already know. And during that time, you talk about some of the things that are bothering you and you can do it safely and you come up with solutions, or maybe they've got ideas to help you. And sometimes it's just good to talk about something and not even get a resolution. So a joy buddy it's actually a really great thing. It's an accountability buddy and a resilience buddy. And if you both commit to it, then you're a wonderful addition to each other's lives. And if you can meet in person, it's even better. Because once we get into that physical proximity of the 6-foot sphere around us, the heart field, then everything changes and we truly connect. That's why getting people back to work is so important, not just for the nature of work, but for everybody's health. Seriously, it's really important. So if we come back to this, the 3 joy killers, these are the 3 core fears that are embedded by the time we're 7. And the first is, I am not worth loving. The reason I know about these is because I got the trifecta. And nobody taught me this. I studied physical therapy, psychology, neurolinguistics, epigenetics, quantum physics, but nobody taught me these. These kind of came to me one day while I was doing some research. And this one, the first one, is a kind of double whammy. The second part is, I am not good enough. I haven't got time, so I'm going to spell enough like that. Now, I am here to share with every single one of you in this room. You are absolutely worth loving. You are absolutely good enough. And whatever we told ourselves as children, I amped mine right up. You know, I'm a high achiever. I told myself I was worthless. And then I added to that, because my history, again, really, forgive me for going so fast, but you're getting it. I grew up in India. My first 5 years was in India. And my father was a tea plantation manager / alcoholic, very bad alcoholic. My mother was a kind of a socialite, very beautiful person. And what I didn't know till she died, and I was 54, was that she left for a year. When I was, the best I can remember, because I remembered nothing about my childhood. I thought it was normal to remember nothing. I mean, you don't talk about it much, do you? So you don't remember nothing, or you remember nothing and you think everybody else remembers nothing. And it isn't until you start to look at it that you realise, oh no, lots of people remember their childhood. Some good, most they remember not such good things. And so I found out my mother left for a year. Now, she left us with a nanny, and I don't remember much except the nanny hit me once, I remember that. And then she came back, so there was me, and I think I was about maybe 3, and my younger brother who was 2, and my sister who's 6 years old had gone to boarding school. Well, she never forgave my mother for sending her to boarding school till the day my mother died. So this is what happens, it gets embedded. We embed these stories in ourselves. I told myself I was worthless, because when you're a toddler, do you get to understand everything that's going on? If Mummy or Daddy yells at you, do you stand there going, Mummy, Daddy, I know you're exhausted. I haven't slept for 3 weeks, so that means you haven't slept for 3 weeks. I know you're just tired. No. We listen to that and we go, they don't love me, I'm not good enough, I'm bad, I'm wrong, I'm something. And the other two fears will come up in a minute as well. So we don't know that, but we tell ourselves that, and then it destroys the rest. Well, it doesn't destroy, I guess, but we embed this into the rest of our lives, and those fears live in us and determine everything else that goes on. So, joy buddies, you're going to love this. On the count of 3, you're going to look at your joy buddy, one side then the other, and you can choose, but I know we've got to be careful of diversity and all that stuff, but is it okay if I say, if you turn to a girl joy buddy, you say you're so worth loving? Because generically what seems to happen is more women get this one, more men get that. You can get both, you can get either. I'm not determining anything, but if you turn to a girl joy buddy, say you are so worth loving, and if it's a boy joy buddy, you are so good enough. And if you want them to say something else to you, just let them know. You got that? So on the count of 3. Now wait before you do it, because I heard these people are going, oh, this sounds good. They've lost a bit of enthusiasm. They're going, really? She's not going to make us do that. These people, oh no, I'm out of here. I'm gone. So remember, this is the first time that the person on either side of you might have ever heard this in their lives. Seriously, you don't know what's going on in anyone else's life until you really get to know them. So be generous. Even if it's uncomfortable for you, mean it when you're looking at them. You're sitting next to another human, not some weird psycho or robot. Oh, look, nice. These people down here are going, yeah, well, you don't know who I'm sitting next to. So on the count of 3, you are so worth loving. Do you want to say both to each person? Okay, say both to each person. You are so good enough, you are so worth loving, and then turn to the other side, but mean it, okay? Ready? Limber up, look happy. What? You cannot do this and be grumpy. 2, 3, go. You are so worth loving. You are so good enough. You are so worth loving. You are so good enough. Okay? Come on back. Do you want a hug? You can hug if you want to. Oh, look. No, I do not want a hug. Come on back. So, the second core fear. And remember, you can talk more about this at the break. You get a chance to chat about it at lunch. You've got 2 days to talk about this. The second core fear is I am unsafe in some way. And that's very common if you have an alcoholic parent or a mentally unwell parent. And it's really critical nowadays. Nobody's ever discussed safety at work before, unless it was occupational health and safety, which I've done. When did we ever talk about emotional lack of safety? And now mental health issues are up the wazoo everywhere. So it means making a place joyful is even more important. Because now we're dealing with all these people who are stressed off their trolleys, and now we know that when you work remotely all the time, I think it's something like 48% of those people feel incredibly stressed. They'd be less stressed if they were back at work with other humans. Think about it. Oh, well, I don't want to leave my dog. Well, humans are better than a dog, except for the people who go, no, they're not. Anyway, the third core fear is that I'm separate or I don't belong. I don't fit in. And that lack of belonging, isolation, and loneliness is a killer. Seriously, it's a killer. So as a leader, I want to share with you something one of my mentors, Michael Grinder, who's a genius of nonverbal communication, taught me. I'll come back over here. And you can use it very practically at work and for your kids and for yourself. So imagine you've got 3 chairs in a row. And in the first chair is the behaviour or a pattern that you see, that needs to change. So a very simple way of doing this is you imagine which fear is in the chair behind it that's driving that behaviour. And it will be one of those 3 core fears. Rest assured, everyone in this room will have one or more of those 3 core fears. It's part of the human condition. I'm pretty sure we've all come to Earth to overcome these fears in some way. And of course, I got the trifecta, but I didn't know I had the trifecta till I was 62. And I met a man called David Martin who's helped me an enormous amount. And Michael Grinder's website is michaelgrinder.com. David is davidmartin.world. And I realised through working with him, I've been working on myself since I was 21. It's a slow learner, you know, and I'd made some progress. But I didn't make the massive progress I've made in the last few years until I dived into those 3 core fears and the fact that I told myself these core fears. And he looked at me one day and he said, you have lived, so when I say 62 years, insert the number of years you are. He said, you have lived 62 years of your life based on the story of a 2-year-old. Do you want to keep going? No, I suppose. Because I was talking about joy and I was one of the most joyless people I knew. I was miserable. I tried to do everything to be joyful, but it's only in these last few years that I've made really good progress. And it's because I've done things like this and this and this and addressed the issues and Joy Buddy and have found it, you know, choose to see myself as a chief joy facilitator, choose to find joy. And so we know the fear is driving the behaviour. So if we can work out what the need is and fill the need, which is for everybody to feel like they're worth loving, to feel that they're valuable, they're worthy, to feel safe, to feel like they belong and they fit in, then we eradicate the fear and we change the behaviour. Does that make sense? Go like this. Does that make sense? Good, good. Now, if we add one more thing before we wrap up really fast. So life is kind of like this. This is the other lesson I discovered. In the core is the essence of who you really are. That says essence, I've got time. Now, that essence is you as a joyful, gorgeous 2-year-old running towards a person going, looking like your life just lit up because this person walked in towards you. That's who every single one of you is. You are an astonishing being of light. There is no technology like a human being. AI will never, ever reach the technology of a human being because we have hearts, and our heart is the most extraordinary technology on the planet. I haven't got time, but go look up heartmath.org and to educate yourself about the heart. It is so potent and so powerful, and it's the thing that changes stuff. So in here, you were born as a brilliant brand new computer, perfect operating system, up to state of the art, everything. And you're operating on the system of the heart, the operating system of the heart. 0 to 7 kicks in. And that's when the fears come in. And it's as if the fears are malware. And the malware comes in and corrupts who you really are. It doesn't corrupt who you really are, it corrupts your code. And then every other aspect of your life is run on what? The corrupted code, not on the code of who you really are. So go forth from today and work out, talk with your Joy Buddy about which of the core fears you have, and begin the process of recognizing them, because that's our thinking. And here's a secret weapon. If you become an O-V-E-R, what is it? Observer, yeah. If you become an observer of your thinking, you will catch the fears that are driving that behaviour. See, we don't know about this generally until someone tells us, like me, or you notice a pattern in your life. For me, it was marriages. Yeah, and relationships. I've only had 2, but I've had a fair number of relationships. And it took me ages to work out what was sabotaging the relationships. And it was me. And it was these core fears. And no matter what anybody said to me, I always thought it was them. I didn't really, that's a lie. I actually knew a lot of it was me, but I did think it was 50-50 until I got to the point where I realised, I'm the one creating my world. And so as I deal with these, and I haven't eradicated all of these totally, but I'm doing really well compared with most of them. And so please, please, will you talk to your Joy Buddies about this? And there's 2 last things that I would like to share with you in the very short time that we have. Can everybody go like this for a second? And we keep the lights up. I don't know. Obviously, we're going to have a romantic moment. But it'd be better if the lights went up again. And now put these over your eyes. And everybody do it, because if you don't, you're really tagging yourself as the grumpy, sucky one, you know? So you might as well do it, even if you lie. So these are your gratitude glasses. And one of the most direct, surefire ways to joy is gratitude. So on the count of 3, turn to your joy buddy and say, thank you. I am so grateful for you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you. 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you. I am so grateful for you. Thank you. I am so grateful for you. Awesome. Now, look. Oh. Remind me, I've got to throw these out later. Now, these are gratitude glasses that you can buy from a dollar store. And I would strongly recommend you all go and get some. And then every staff meeting you have from now on, look at this. I know what she's going to say. It's a great idea. She's not going to say that. That's ridiculous. Seriously, you're the boss. When you walk into a hotel, you know within seconds what the general manager is like because of the attitude of every single person in that building, the spirit that infuses the building. That's who you are. So if you walk into a staff meeting, looking casual, you pop these on, watch the mouths of everybody in the room go, what's happened? And you say, we're starting a new ritual. Every time we have a staff meeting from now on, we are all going to answer the question, what's the thing you're most grateful for since we last met? Do you have any idea what that does to the field, the quantum field? It transforms it. And every time they're walking to the meeting, if you've made it a ritual, what do you think they're thinking about? They're not thinking, oh God, not another meeting. They're thinking, I've got to think of all the things I'm grateful for and I've got to pick the best one. It transforms the meeting. And for children, we teach children gratitude by saying, say thank you to your brother. I said say thank you to your brother. That doesn't teach children gratitude. But if you sit around the dinner table at night and you wear the gratitude glasses and you hand them on to each person and you say, what's the thing you're most grateful for that happened today? Start when they're 2. And please, when you go home, will you have conversations with the children? Go to my YouTube channel, Amanda Gore TV, subscribe. I need more subscribers. Because YouTube changed them all. I hope we haven't got a YouTube representative in here. If we have, could I talk to you later? Anyway, and show the kids these. From when they're tiny, they like watching me because I'm dynamic. They don't know what I'm saying, but it embeds the message because it comes out in the field. And start to have out loud conversations with your teenagers and your 25-year-olds and whatever age children you have the conversation saying, you are so worth loving. That's what you say to a toddler. You are good enough. You are always safe here. You always belong. You always fit in. You will always be with us. Have those word conversations with your children. And remember that every single person you are leading in an organisation is a toddler in teenager clothing. And they all operate on that. But just quickly, if we know that the single most important thing in life, is how you because everything in life is about what? Feelings. The most important thing in life is how you feel about yourself. You think about it. Whenever you are in love, life is fabulous. Whenever you feel really good about yourself, I don't know, you did a great presentation, something went well, this whole event goes well, you feel good about yourself. Life is different, it's better. And then, if the most important thing in life is how you feel about yourself, what's the number one thing that people in life want? I'll help you. It's recognition and acknowledgement. Very good. Some of you are going, it's recognition and acknowledgement. So I want to finish up with something. Please go back and embed this into your culture. Please take on board all these ideas. We had to go fast, I know, but you can see more about this in more detail on the YouTube thing. And just remember this, share some of it with your family. This is being videoed. Hopefully, you'll be able to get access to it somehow. Show your families. Get this message home. It isn't just for work, it's for home. But if you go forth and you create a joy-filled culture, if you are a CJF, if you are a joy buddy, a walking joy spot, if you do focus on feelings, remembering there's just one you feel good about yourself, you help others feel good about themselves, life transforms, not just work. So here's the last one. It's a little more complicated as an exercise, but I've got faith that you can do it. So on the count of 3, one of you is going to turn to the other. By the way, when you have a toddler and they do something about themselves that's like good, like they walk, how quickly does it take them to learn to say, ta-da? Not very long. What do grown-ups do when toddlers go, ta-da? We all go like this, go, yay! You're dealing with toddlers in grown-up bodies. Go back to work and create a ta-da culture where people recognise other people doing something good and they recommend that they get a ta-da of some sort. They win a car or something, just something small at work. But just getting a ta-da is worth it. So we're going to embed this into our physiology. And on the count of 3, you're going to turn to your joy buddy, and it's a little more complicated, so watch. You're going to say, I think you deserve a ta-da. And your joy buddy will go, ta-da. And you will say, yes. And then you'll swap. And this joy buddy will go, I think you deserve a ta-da. And this joy buddy will go, ta-da. And you will say, excellent. And then you do it to the other side. Isn't this fun? Yes. And you notice how you feel when somebody gives you a ta-da and they really mean it. It's so great. So ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. I think you deserve a ta-da. Ta-da! Yes. I think you deserve a ta-da. Ta-da! Excellent.